Yeah. So we all can have our cameras on. Yeah, we don't have to be hidden. And it can be an interactive session. Yeah, that kind of stimulates. We have few more people joining in, so we'll let it warm up. And once everybody's in, we can begin our discussion. I think Dr. Milind, is he around? Anyway, I hope everybody's fine with English. English, Hindi, Marathi. I'm okay with any of these three languages. Yeah. So you can recommend the language and we'll try to use that predominantly. Good. So today's talk was initiated by my dear friend Milind. Yeah, Dr. Milind and I have been college mates since our first year of homeopathy. That's about maybe long back, 91, 2001, maybe 30 years back. Yeah. That's how we created our connection and friendship. And of course, we all moved on in life in different directions. And the only thing that bound us well, along with so many things, was homeopathy. And Dr. Millen sent me an interesting case of his, and he was very excited when he shared the follow up with me. And it was a remedy that Dr. Bhavisha, my wife, and I have proved 10 years back. And the result was astonishing for him, not for me, of course. And I was happy to see the way he connected to the remedy and the way he prescribed it and the result that he got. And he was very keen that the results of this remedy should be shared with the community at large. And everybody should get the benefit of it and maybe use this remedy in the clinical practice. Now, there are many remedies in homeopathy. There are about few thousand, 3,000 remedies already there in our homeopathic Mater Medica. Hahnemann, in his lifetime, until the last few years, constantly proved remedies, added new remedies, experimented with potencies, potentizations, the art of prescribing. Yeah, he was a scientist into nature until the very last few years of his life. And of course, he has written so many editions of Organon. And of course, this path of creating remedies, understanding remedies, prescribing remedies has been going on and on and on and on for the past 250 years. So, the objective that we all have is that we want to help our patients to bring about good results and to see that we make them better, yeah, for the future. Now, in this endeavor, Bhavish and I have always had a very open mind that remedies are everywhere. Yeah, everything in nature has a curative potential, and that curative potential has to be exploited, explored, and utilized. When you look at the way Hahnemann proved the remedies, yeah, what you can see is that he began with remedies and substances around him, things that were used routinely, more often, and that's how it kindled the interest and knowledge, and everything around him in his region. he used those substances, minerals, plants, animals, you name it, nosodes as well. He used them. I don't think he played so much with nosodes, but mineral, plants, animals. He used all these substances in a potentized manner to explore his curative action. Now, the same journey. So he was an explorer. So that same journey of exploration, of looking inwards, of analyzing and looking at positive or possible potentials of curing amongst remedy substances kept going on and on and on and on. And this is exactly what we did in our clinical practice. Now, the tools, what are the tools that we use to prescribe? We use symptoms given by the patient. We either match them by the repertories that we have, the materia medicas that we have, or the drug substances that we know about. And we try to say that, okay, he matches this. And then we give a particular remedy. Yeah. Are you all with me? If you can give a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, some way, that will kind of let me know that we are on the same page. Yeah. So we use these ideas to, great. We use these ideas to prescribe. Now, what are we actually doing, all of us, in that? Anybody? What are we doing that in today's practice, or rather in the past many years? Maybe we have revolutionized practice over the past few years. But when we are looking at patient symptoms and comparing that with something else, yeah, what are we trying to do? Bolo, bolo, Baba. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to fit the image? Yeah, please. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
I
Good morning,
think
sir.
Bolo, bolo.
Mostly we are trying to make some portrait of the symptoms, the patients, the physical generals, the mental generals, the most characteristic symptoms. The patient.
Very nice. And then what are we doing? Uske baad?
Then we have make some hierarchy of the symptoms. We make some the potential the symptoms, which characteristic, the whole personality.
बरोबर. और फिर उसको मैच करते हैं.
Yes, sir.
बराबर है. Everybody in this, absolutely, everybody in the same boat. So I want to begin the talk by waking you up in the morning. Now, what are we doing here? We are collecting some information from our patient, just like you rightly said, yeah, Dr. Parag. Characteristics, mental, physical, pathophysiological. Absolutely, we make a nice basket, and we see where does this basket fit in our books. बराबर है. अपने पास 3000 दवाइयां, इसमें से इसमें कौन सी दवाई बैठती है? This is where we are. So this is like going to a ready-made store, जहां पे 3000 शर्ट बैठे हैं, उसमें से देखना कि इसमें से कौन सा शर्ट बंदे को बैठता है कि नहीं. Am I right? मोरलेस ऐसा ही है ना, वैसे ही करते थे और चलता भी उसमें से बहुत अच्छा. ऐसा थोड़ी कंपलसरी है that everybody needs a different fit. Some shirts fit everybody, बढ़िया, काम चल गया. But that is not always the case. Here we all need to step out of the box and first understand कि ये बंदे का crux क्या है. What is the crux of this individual? उसका mental state क्या है, उसका physical state क्या है, and how do I find a remedy? Maybe in my repertory, maybe in my materia medica, maybe in my provings, or maybe in the world. कुछ तो होगा which matches this particular pattern. क्या है शायद मुझे नहीं पता, but there is something that is definitely out there. And that is the quest that kept us going on. And this is exactly what we try to do, is to find what is this person, and not what do I have that matches it. Okay, what can possibly fit him? Do I have something in my bag that fits him? कि उसको कुछ अलग चाहिए जो शायद अभी तक नहीं है, तो ढूंढो, सोचो. This is where the journey began. Now, if I have to go into flashback 2005, या उसके पहले 2000 साल में, we would often get patients, yeah, people from typical Indian family where people are very joined together, living together, family is important, husband, wife, children, all living together. And of course, the first person to come to the clinic will always be the child. After the child gets better, then the mother, then the second sibling, then the mother, and finally the father. एंड सबको रिजल्ट मिलने के बाद फिर ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स की भाई कुछ तो है कि इनको रिजल्ट आता है तो पब्लिक आती है. दिस इज अ होम्योपैथिक प्रैक्टिस बिगिंस मोर और लेस इन आवर कंट्री, मोर और लेस. नाउ we had treated the child of a particular patient and the child did exceedingly well, and then the mother came. And she was a typical housewife doing everything for the family. Yeah, a middle class housewife takes care generally. घर पे देखो, बच्चों का ध्यान दो, हस्बैंड का ध्यान दो, मे बी थोड़ा वर्क भी करो. शी वॉज अ हाउस वाइफ, सो बच्चों की पढ़ाई है, एवरीथिंग शी वॉज डूइंग. ठीक है. सो वेयर वॉज अ फोकस? her focus was around home. Barabar. What was very peculiar that she loved talking. She wore clothes which were not just plain dull as a everyday person. She wore clothes which were very bright, something that she would like to talk about, and she had so many things to talk about. She was a yappy person. So clinic में कई बार जब ऐसे लोग आते हैं who can talk a lot, often it's good because yes, it gives you a lot of information, but at the same time confusion भी होता है कि बेटा इसमें से निकाले क्या, because इतना तो बात कर रहे हैं. But she was somebody who was communicating, talking, expressive, very, very, very vocal about herself. And we asked more about her personality, trying to know more. And what turned out was that whenever she would come to the clinic, ek to follow up lage when we saw her, that she had very nice purses. Purses which were very well decorated, created, crafted, handcrafted रहता है. ऐसा कुछ उसके पास purses थे. Lovely. And we asked her that these purses are very nice. They don't look like they have been bought from a store. You know, it's like somebody has actually made them. And she said, well, actually, I have this hobby of making these purses. I said, wow, that's very creative. So we said, okay, tell us more. She said, I love to do these creative things. You come at my home. I've done a lot of crochet work. And I've done so many things. I love to decorate my house with a lot of artifacts, with small bouquets and things. And Tabi, of course, mobile phones weren't so prevalent with cameras. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have had pictures to show kya unhone kiya hoga. So she said, I love to do all of these at home. My home is very nicely decorated. I said, wow, this is peculiar. So what we found was a lady, a housewife taking care of the family, very excited about things, talkative, expressive, and very creative. I said, yes, she is very creative. We said, tell us more about this art. मैं बचपन से ऐसी थी, मुझे छोटी छोटी चीजें करने में मजा आता था. I always got bored doing the same thing. And I always like to do something very interesting, something very different, creative चीज करो, ऐसे भी अच्छा लिखो. But you know, more than writing, my handwriting would be beautiful because बहुत अच्छा लगता है, फ्लेयर जब रहता है, सामने वाली की नजर पड़नी चाहिए कि अरे वाह, ये कुछ अच्छा है. हाँ. So I said, okay, आगे क्या किया, आगे क्या हुआ इस बात का? So naturally, when somebody talks so much about your creativity, we would want to know how does the person explore it? क्या किया उसने? क्या feel हुआ? Ultimately, हम लोग personality जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. So we said, okay, tell us more about it. So tell me more about this art, this purses. I said, do you sell these purses because they look so nice? Naturally, I would ask, क्यों? To know कि भाई उसमें क्या skill है? Say, no, this is just for me. ये सब घर के लिए, maybe for my cousin, for my nephews, for my relatives. मैं उनके लिए करती हूँ. But beyond that, there is nothing for this. I'm happy doing this much because for me, my family is very important. मुझे मेरे family के लिए करना, बच्चों के लिए करना, husband के लिए करना. I have extreme good pleasure in that. I'm very happy being the housewife, but this is what I love to do in my time. I get this time where I get to do this creativity and एक्सप्लोर दैट बिकॉज वो मुझे अच्छा लगता है. जब मेरे बच्चे लोग नहीं रहते, स्कूल जाते, हस्बैंड इज बिजी इन हिज वर्क, then I do these creative things because I like to explore that inner passion of mine, but I don't want to take it any further. I'm happy doing this much. So this was very peculiar. Then we said, okay, tell me more about it. And she said, for me, I said, whom do you share your art, your work? He said, my best friend whom I share my work with is my husband. My husband is very close to me. I'm very attached with him, and we are like one. So whatever that I have to show him, I have to share that with him, and he's equally reciprocative. He appreciates what I've done. And that is more than enough for me, because I don't like anywhere we have to go as well, traveling abroad. If we have to travel, I don't need anybody to come with me. I don't need to go with a big group, but I need to go with my husband. If the two of us are together, I need absolutely nothing more. I'm very content with that. Huh. And she had hypothyroidism, and her hypothyroidism was very recently detected. Her TSH was high, and it was just a few months or weeks. उसने कुछ चालू नहीं किया था before she came to us. So we said, okay, we need to give her something. And we somehow said that, okay, let us put together what are the characteristic things in her. एक तो बहुत फ्रेंडली है, टॉकेटिव है, बराबर है, क्रिएटिव है, हस्बैंड के साथ बहुत अच्छा बॉन्ड है, रिलेशनशिप उसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, फैमिली इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आर्टिस्टिक है. सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ रेमेडी आई वुड थिंक, मे बी ये अर्जेंटम है, स्ट्रॉन्शियम है, क्या चीज है ये. रोती भी इजीली है, दिल को बात भी उसको लग जाती है तो रोती भी है. तो थोड़ा नेट्रम्यूर भी है, नेट्रम भी है, सेंसिटिव है, दूसरों की बात लग जाती है, मे बी थोड़ी स्टैफिसाइग्रिया वाली भी है. तो क्या दे उसको. तो ये हमारे दिमाग में सवाल चल रहा था. आर यू ऑल विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these were the thoughts that were running in our mind. And that's where we said, okay, is there a remedy where the partner is important, which has got creativity, but the creativity is limited within its own space. Matlab, that creativity is not to become an MF Hussain, but the creativity is to be creative within your own boundaries and be happy with that. Is there some remedy which can explain that? At the same time, that remedy should be happy doing things within limitations. She has a family, she has to take care of the family, and she enjoys her art within that limited time that she gets when children are out and husband is working. Now, this kind of limitation is very peculiar, guys. Yeah. Because she doesn't say कि मैं क्या करूं यार लाइफ में, और कुछ करने के लिए स्कोप नहीं है, बस ये 4 घंटे मिलते हैं, उसमें जो मैं अपना कर लेती हूँ and I'm okay with that. She does not use a language like that. She's happy doing what she's doing, and she's happy doing that within that space. So this was the time when we asked her, ठीक है, लाइफ तो उसका बहुत सेट है, सब अच्छा है, प्रॉब्लम क्यों आया. Remember, in practice that we have seen is that whenever a patient describes a state or describes his personality and things that are happening in their life, we often go back to the pathologies that they come to us for and often inquire what was happening to you in your life during that state. That plays a huge role. Often it opens up cases for us. And we asked her, you got detected with hypothyroidism maybe few weeks back, maybe few months ago. Yeah, we give a wider time range. What was the stress happening in your family? And she said, nahi, kuch nahi, life was doing fine. We said, no, we insisted. And she said, few months back maybe, kya ho raha tha? My helps were not around and my husband ka workload bahut zyada badh gaya tha. So what was happening? Because my helps were not around, मुझे मेरे दोपहर का समय फ्री टाइम नहीं मिलता था, बिकॉज आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू डू एवरीथिंग एट होम एंड दैट हेल्प वॉज नॉट अराउंड फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम. बच्चों की पढ़ाई बढ़ गई थी, सब चीज बढ़ गया था, मुझे मेरे लिए कोई समय ही नहीं मिल रहा था. कर रहे थे, सब बढ़िया हो रहा था, बट देन मुझे वो समय नहीं मिल रहा था, कोई चीज पेपर भी पढ़ने के लिए समय नहीं मिल रहा था. फॉरगेट अबाउट डूइंग एनीथिंग एल्स. आई डिड नॉट हैव टाइम फॉर माई सेल्फ. आई फेल्ट वेरी क्लॉस्ट्रोफोबिक इन दैट स्टेट कि मुझे घर नहीं संभालना है, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, मेरे पास समय नहीं है, मेरे पास हाथ बटोरने के लिए कोई नहीं है. एट द सेम टाइम माय हस्बैंड्स बिजनेस गॉट वेरी बिजी. He had to be out on tours, he had to go out station, and because the work demanded, of course business was doing well, he had to stay out. Of course he would speak to me on the phone, but then मेरे साथ कोई था नहीं बात करने के लिए. I said to you, mentioned to you कि भाई मेरे साथ हस्बैंड के साथ बात करना, उसके साथ वॉक पे जाना या उसके साथ नरेट करना अपनी मन की बातें was very valuable. I wasn't able to do that, and I missed that particular time. So during that phase in life, I felt very, very claustrophobic. बहुत बंधा सा महसूस हुआ कि मुझे इसमें से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे, मुझे खाली मेरी थोड़ी स्पेस चाहिए ताकि मैं मेरा कुछ कर पाऊं, मेरे लिए खुद का कुछ कर पाऊं। दैट विल हेल्प मी गोइंग। शायद बात भी करना मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था, मुझे बात करने का मौका भी नहीं मिल रहा था, हस्बैंड के साथ शेयर करने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा था। एंड दैट वाज एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रेसफुल। आई मिस दैट पार्ट इन माय लाइफ। And I don't know if that has affected, but that was the only thing that was happening in life, I would say, few months back. I said, tell me more about this, कि आपको आपका कुछ करने के लिए स्पेस चाहिए, कुछ करना आप पसंद करती हो। एंड शी सेड आई लव, कि दोपहर में जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, इन द आफ्टरनून्स व्हेन my children have gone to work, school of course, and my husband is out, I enjoy doing these things. ये जो मैं आर्टिफैक्ट्स करती हूँ या मेरे जो पर्सेस के जो डिजाइन बनाती हूँ, ये मेरे लिए दोपहर का समय है जो मुझे 3-4 घंटे बहुत मिलते हैं, मैं एंजॉय करती हूँ उस 3-4 घंटों में, बहुत मजा आता है। मुझे एक लगता है कि हाँ, मैं अपना कुछ अलग कर रही हूँ, मैं अपने आप की जो मेरे अंदर की जो क्रिएटिविटी है, जो मैं एक्सप्रेस कर रही हूँ। बिकॉज जैसे मेरे हस्बैंड अपने वर्क में उनकी क्रिएटिविटी एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं, बच्चे लोग उनके स्कूल में कर रहे हैं, वैसे आई एंजॉय एक्सप्लोरिंग दिस पार्ट ऑफ माई पर्सनैलिटी एट होम with that time. And when I wouldn't get that time, things got a little challenging, and moreover I didn't have anybody to talk to. बहुत बंधा हुआ लगता है। ऐसे इसमें से कौन सी चीज ज्यादा स्ट्रेसफुल लगी? She said this whole thing of not being able to do what I want to do. Of course घर है तो करना तो पड़ता है, घर की प्रायोरिटी बड़ी है, तो उसके लिए तो मैं करी हूँ जो घर के लिए करना है। बट किसी के साथ बात नहीं करना, मेरे हस्बैंड के साथ बात नहीं कर पाना, या उसके साथ वॉक को नहीं जा पाना, शायद वो भी अगर रहते थे तो मैं शाम को बता सकती थी कि देखो यार कितनी दिक्कत हो रही है, घर का काम आपको पता है। बट इवन इफ आई टॉक टू हिम आई वुड हैव फेल्ट नाइस कि मैंने किसी के साथ शेयर की है। एंड फॉर मी दैट पार्टनर was very important because I love to talk, and you can, as you can see, I love to talk. I said that yes, evident है आपको बात करना पसंद है। I love to talk, I love to express। फ्रेंड्स के साथ तो बात करते ही हैं, पर कितना बात करेंगे? अपने दिल की बात करने के लिए your partner is the most important friend for you, and I really missed that during that time. But then once he came back, then the help भी आ गई, and life got back to normal, and चल पड़े आगे। But do you think that must have affected me so much? ऐसे टेल मी मोर अबाउट दिस, कुछ नहीं कर पाना अपने दिल की बात, अपने दिल में जो है, क्या वो दिक्कत देती है? I said yes, I am very sensitive to that. I like to get that time to do things that I enjoy, that really keeps me going, and वो नहीं कर पाना is very stressful. That gives me a feeling of expansion, freedom देता है। मेरी मेरी अंदर का the creativity inside me blossoms, it expands, I feel free when I'm able to do those things। नहीं तो बहुत बंधा हुआ है। एट द सेम टाइम शाम को वॉक करना, हस्बैंड के साथ वॉक को जाना, मे बी चाट खाने जाना या चाय पीने जाना, टॉकिंग टू हिम ओवर अ कप ऑफ टी इज वेरी वेरी नाइस। देन आई आस्क्ड हर, ये जो आपकी क्रिएटिविटी आपको इतनी पसंद है, you have used very interesting and intense colors with very fine work. Tell me more about the colors that you use. She said, I love to use colors from nature. Colors कई बार नेचर्स में ना बहुत कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग भी होते हैं, एंड आई लव टू यूज दोज कलर्स इन माई क्रिएटिविटी। एंड बहुत अच्छा लगता है। सेम ब्लैंड चीजें करना मजा नहीं आता, कुछ हटके होना चाहिए, बहुत ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि वाह क्या चीज बनाई है मैंने। हाँ, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। तो मुझे और थोड़ा इंफॉर्मेशन मिला। So what are the things that I got from her? I'll type. हाँ, इधर या। So I got from her talkative, friendly, social, family, art, creativity, companionship, freedom, space, my space, Yeah? Are you all with me? Guys, you can unmute yourself and talk. Please don't feel so close.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ, जाग जाओ यार. I feel
Yes.
Excitability.
excitability, excited, excitable, excited.
Loves people, loves company.
Company, yes, I write. Companionship,
Right. Okay.
Family oriented.
yes.
Wants to go to
Sensitive.
Sensitive.
wants to go to nature or in nature.
ठीक है. Good. More. So, these are the things. Now, based on this information, what are the things, remedy groups that come to your mind?
Phosphoricums.
Very good. Phosphoricum क्या होता है? Phosphorus या phosphoric acid?
Sir, phosphorus.
Phosphorus. Good.
Calcarea group. Carbon.
Okay. Phos group. Very good. Calcarea. Okay. More. Very nice. Carbon.
Carbon.
Calcarea में calcium. Calcium दिखा? More. I could see strontium.
Yeah.
C. More. Phosphorus was very nicely evident because expressive है, creativity है, बात करती है, of course. मिलिंद आपको कार्बन कैसे दिखा, डिस्क्राइब कीजिए ना. एवरीबडी इज देयर कि मैं हैंग अप हो गया हूं.
Hello.
हाँ ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम.
हाँ.
ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. सो
Wants to attract people, wants to talkativeness, going in nature and having magnetism. So I thought of carbon or calcarea.
गुड. Attractiveness and maybe charming. She can charm. Very good.
Gets easily excited.
Yeah. Good. Very good. Anybody else, please? There are how many of us? There are 15, 16 of us. Please interact. It's a nice opportunity to agree or disagree. So, इसमें क्या हुआ? In this particular case, this characteristic was very, very bold. What was important? जो हमें बार बार मुझे भविष्य को महसूस हुआ was the fact that this lady was very happy within her space. Yeah. So what I found very characteristic was happy. Her space. Next was a strong creativity. Third was companion. More than companion, it was partner. partner companionship. Then creativity मैंने बताया, space बताया. And when this space is happy within a space and needs to explore her creativity in that space. Spelling mistake नहीं है ना? हाँ, very good. And when not able to do that, कैसे महसूस करती है? Closed.
Hello. Feeling as if trapped.
Closed, claustrophobic,
Right.
trapped. किधर गया? Delete. Trapped. This was the crux. And when she's able to do that, the beauty, guys, is that याद रखिए कि वो लेडी को 2 से 5 उसके टाइम में कुछ कर पाना, being able to do something in that short span of time is enough to make her feel very nice. She is not expecting to get the freedom, उसका फ्रीनेस चाहिए उसको कुछ और करने के लिए, तो उस 3-4 घंटे में अपने खुद का कुछ कर पाना उसके लिए बहुत ज्यादा मायना रखता है. So freedom within that limitation is very vital for her. And this was nearly the crux that we saw in the case. इसमें कैसे phosphorus explain कर पाएंगे? इसमें claustrophobic कहेंगे, the entire argentum group will come, sorry, the nitricums will come. Companion and partner, if you look at this theme, all the ये आ जाएंगे, magnesiums, calcareas, वो आ जाएंगे. Freedom बात करेंगे तो ऑक्सीजन ग्रुप वाले आ जाएंगे रे भैया. Space,
Mammalian group.
I'm sorry,
Mammalia group.
not necessary. No, mammalian group नहीं आएगा. Mammalian group नहीं आएगा. I will come to that. Mammalian group नहीं आएगा because I will come to that. Wait a minute. Happy within your space. अपना space. अभी यहाँ पे ध्यान रखिए. Need to have your space. Differentiating your space from others. Yeah. is somewhere जो उसकी मतलब उसकी अस्तित्व कुछ तो है पर उसको उसका जगह बनाना है उसमें. But she's happy within that. So she's content within that limiting space. So कहाँ पे इस बंदी को limitation तो ठीक लगता है पर उस limitation में उसको उसका freedom to do things बढ़िया लगता है कि उसको चाहिए. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, what about others? Please, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wake up. नहीं agree करते तो बताओ, समझ में आएगा. I'll be able to expand more. Because I'm telling you a case which was maybe 20 years old. उसमें मैं खोद के निकाल रहा हूँ कि क्या क्या था उसमें. So, this is the crux. Now here, what we saw, here is where my way, Bhavishya's way differs. Because ये patient का crux, often we say in the end of the case to our patients is that we have understood you. We never, not always we say कि अब देखो दवाई मिल गई है. हम हमेशा कहते कि I have understood what you are. अभी क्या दवाई है वो मुझे ढूंढ के निकालनी है. कई बार दवाई पता होती है, कई बार दवाई नहीं पता होती है. बट थॉट प्रोसेस रहता है कि मैं इस बंदे की पर्सनालिटी टाइप समझ चुका हूं या समझ चुकी हूं. I need to see a remedy group which explains this. Now, very important theme. Very important theme. Very important theme in this case is this creativity, companionship, limitation, wanting to have her own freedom. Freedom and limitation is a very strong theme that we have seen maybe for the past 20 years in bird group of remedies. कि जो इतना इंटेंस थीम है जिसको अपना स्पेस चाहिए कुछ करने के लिए, बनने के लिए विद इन, इसमें वो एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बर्ड थीम है. So this is where the first drop of a remedy group came to our mind that this is ये अपनी bird theme की behavior है. Now इसके लिए ऐसा bird theme है कि जिसको restriction भी चाहिए, freedom भी चाहिए, companion भी चाहिए. So that brought us to a group of remedies which need first a very strong companionship. Yeah, there are many bird groups which have got a very strong affinity to their partner, and some of them really bond forever. Yeah, so that got the companionship. Third, what was characteristic in her was happy within the space. Creativity करना है पर वो बंधे हुए जगह में चाहिए. So we needed to look for a group of remedies या birds जिसमें companionship important है. Along with companionship, what is important is that the bird can be restricted, can be in limited spaces, but it is happy within that limited spaces. It is capable and it is okay to be confined within that limited space. Yeah. Fourth is communication. Communication वो मैंने नहीं लिखा इसमें. Talkativeness. Communication is very important. So we need to see a group of birds where communication, chirping is a very strong theme in them. So when we put these factors together, the group of birds that came very predominantly in our mind are the budgerigars or the budgies. आपने ये बर्ड्स बहुत देखे होंगे, हम सब ने देखे अपने इंडिया में पेट फॉर्म में बहुत रहते हैं. किधर गए? एक सेकेंड ना. बज्जी. Yeah, I wanted to show this. Share screen. Yeah, this guy. These are budgies. These are very small birds. Yeah, you often find them in pet markets. If you go to any pet market in India or anywhere across the world, after dogs and cats, budgies are the third most sought after pet.
In India, they are wrongly called. I will again repeat, wrongly called as lovebirds. They are not lovebirds.
Lovebirds are here.
They are from the same family of lovebirds because all parrots. So budgie is part of the larger parrot group. So India may we have Indian parrot, we have parakeet, then you have lovebirds. This one is a little similar. This is also not exactly lovebird. This is a bird of the parrot family called sun conure. लेकिन almost ऐसे दिखते हैं lovebirds. This is the very, very large parrots, which are found mainly in
Australia, Indonesia.
Yeah, or the South America.
South America.
Continent. This is the aramacao. Okay? These are the lorikeets. Rainbow lorikeets. So, आप क्या देख रहे हो? That this entire group is so colorful. Yeah. And this entire group is the parrot group. I think at some point we'll differentiate aramacao as a remedy and also lovebird as a remedy and also Indian parrot as a remedy क्योंकि ये सारी remedies available है and we have been prescribing these remedies for the last 2 decades.
2 decades. And these are some of the best remedies for women complaints, for genitourinary complaints, for menstrual complaints, ovarian complaints. These are amongst the best. इतने beautiful results है. हमारे बहुत से दोस्त जो ये ग्रुप में नहीं है, they are patients who could not conceive. ये दवाइयों के बाद blindly देने के बाद those people have conceived. वो भी remote गांव में जिसका those women of course, those people have conceived, those women have conceived, and giving those remedies on very few important indications of this particular remedy.
Especially melopsit, we have several cases of ovarian cysts that have completely dissolved with this remedy. I think Sachendra also told you that we have proved this remedy, or it will come at some point. But this is the budgie, or wrongly called lovebird, but it is from the same lovebird or parrot family.
So this is the remedy that we came to. And this is the remedy that we prescribed this patient 20 years back. This remedy was made by Helios in London. And of course, हम दवाई जहाँ मिलती हो, मिल सकती है दुनिया में, वहां से मंगाते हैं. And fortunately, since we travel often, दवाई लाना easy था. तो ये दवाई हमने उसके लिए मंगाई, and उसका result was so good that within 3 weeks, we could see that her TSH, which was elevated, had dropped down. And over the next few weeks, it came back to normal. Her symptoms, which she had few mild symptoms of hypothyroidism, they all vanished. And what was characteristic was over. So, ये तो ठीक है, pathology तो गई. What was characteristic was, as time progressed, she got the remedy infrequently whenever कुछ होता था, physical complaint हो या और कुछ complaint हो. Over a period of time, what happened was that she started getting more busy. Time at home was getting shorter because as the husband's business expanded, he really took off very well and he had to stay out more often. Naturally, everything that triggered the hypothyroidism in the first place came up in the scene. But over the next 2-3 years, and actually the patient is known to us from even now, हम जानते हैं because the social and family family को बहुत अच्छी तरह से हम लोग जानते हैं. वो patients, the patient has been able to cope up very well. She still does her creativity, though she's compressed for time because she has now started to work and help in the husband business too. She does manage to find some time for her work, which she enjoys as a hobby. But उसको ये सब चीजों का stress नहीं है. She's able to balance time and effort much more efficiently than what was happening earlier. So when we give a remedy, when Bhavish and I give a remedy, our objective is to not just bring about a change in the pathology. Pathology can be brought about by giving specific remedies as well. उसके थायराइड हम 3x देते थे, तो उससे भी उसके TSH में फर्क आता था. But what do we want to do is try to help people where the remedy can make a change and impact lives. Yeah, because our science has the potential, our science has the capacity to bring about change in people's life, to bring about a dynamic change whereby our remedies can help people get better, not in their physical state, their mental state, and help keep pathologies at bay. Help stay in a much more better frame of mind, better person, and change the dynamics around them. Not get affected, not get hurt, and eventually they don't fall sick so often. Now, this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing about homeopathy, and this is the potential that we see that our remedies can achieve. And this is what makes me and Bhavisha constantly search for deeper remedies, for precise remedies, and for remedies that can bring about a change. क्या हो गया? इसमें से नहीं चाहिए. Yeah, to bring about a change. And that is what keeps us doing. हमने अभी in the past maybe 20 years, we must have done 15-20 remedy proving हमने किए हैं, और cases की और substances की proving की है. There is nothing to lose. There is all to learn. There is all to learn when we prove these remedies. We prove to understand what more can we know about the substance, what more can we do things, and what more can we bring about a change. This was just first case, one of the cases rather of Melopsit. Melopsit के इतने cases है हमारे पास, people who follow us all across the world, उनके पास, हमारे friends. Dr. Milind एक example ही है जो इतना excited हुआ with the result. When the patient speaks कि मुझे ये dose से फर्क पड़ा, मुझे और दो. This is not my creation, our creation. This was there in nature. we took the opportunity of introducing that to homeopathy. So here, remember guys, ये सब के curative actions, curative effects are all there in nature. We as physicians have to tap them and bring them in action. Yeah, हम discoverers नहीं है, हम introducers है. We take the opportunity given to us by God, by nature, through our patients, to use these substances, see their potential curative action, and maybe introduce that to the larger world, ताकि generations down the line can help more and more people. This is the driving force. So remedy selection and remedy proving, yeah, remedy addition, yeah, नए remedies, you know, often we are labeled as नए remedies लाने वाले doctors all across the world. ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? आप वो चीज ढूंढो जो आपको नहीं समझ रहा है. हर चीज अगर समझ में आती तो बाय नाउ एवरी केस दैट कम्स टू अस टू वुड हैव बीन क्योर्ड. नहीं होता वैसा. अगर किसी के साथ होता होगा तो गॉड उसके पैर छूने चाहिए, पर सबके साथ नहीं होता. तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में दैट एक्सप्लोरेटिव कैरेक्टर इन यू, द एक्सप्लोरेटिव एलिमेंट इन यू, कि इसमें क्या है जो मेरी दवाई में नहीं बैठ रहा है. अमंग द रेमेडीज दैट आई नो, व्हाट इज इट दैट द पेशेंट इज टॉकिंग दैट डज नॉट फिट? Because that is the key. And often when you explore that, you get to newer remedies, to newer thoughts, and something beyond the box. Otherwise, over a period of time in routine practice, we tend to prescribe very similar remedies. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Because अपने को हम जो जानते हैं, हम खाली वही देखते हैं. But the moment we start saying कि patients क्या बोल रहे हैं, patient ने क्या कहा है, वो लिख लो, जैसे मैंने अभी लिखा. And then देखो कि भाई इसमें क्या चीज है जो बैठती है. Is there something that I know that fits it, explains it all, or is there something more that I need to explore? And then use that to help patients. And this is where this remedy helped, and it opened a complete Pandora's box. Infertility. We have had so many cases of infertility that have been helped. Bhavisha has got so many cases who have not been able to conceive. Patients who have been done so many IVFs. IVF किया दुनिया भर के देश में lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of rupees to conceive. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but not this particular bird remedy, but some other bird remedy that helped. The patient conceived within a month, not once, but after a year again. And she has a happy family. ऐसे बहुत cases है which have done well. Why? Because we could understand the sensitivity and do it. So Melopsittacus undulatus, which is the zoological name of this particular remedy, budgie, commonly known as lovebird, but budgie is the main name. So ye dawai has been used successfully for PCODs, PCOS, where there are so many reports जो before after cyst gaye hai with this remedy. Menstrual irregularities in women, especially elderly women or menopausal women with extreme amount of bleeding, and I explain bleeding for a prolonged period of time. We have had good results with this Melopsittacus remedy. Perimenopausal. Menarche में there are so many young girls जिनको difficulties होती है family में, growing up phases में, and they come up with remedy states like these. They have been helped with this particular remedy. Yeah. So women, the entire क्या कहते हैं, creative organ, the genital urinary organs, they are helped very, very well with this particular remedy. That is just one of the complaints. Yeah. But there have been so many cases of migraines, depression. Often, women who have complaints and women who have complaints, especially genitourinary complaints, and you dig into their lives, many often are very depressed because life has its own challenges, and the physical complaint becomes a window to understand the depression that these women are going through. And the remedy not just helps them setting the pathology right, but unka depressive state unko open karta hai. They are able to open and speak. Women, there have been certain women who were stuck in difficult relationship, but they could take a bold stand and do something of their own lives than suffer in those situations that they were in. Thanks to the remedy, because the remedy initiated that curative action. They always had that potential in them. Dawai ne unko open karwaya. Then this is the example where we are using Melopsittacus as a remedy to share with you the healing potential of our remedies. Yeah. इसको change करता हूँ.
No, I'll come here. No.
I'll get up. आजा. Yeah.
So I think that was a very nice case that Sachendra discussed. And have you already discussed the proving symptoms? And
Not yet.
So then you do that later. I'll just talk a little bit about. You know, why? There are two things I want to say. One is that in today's time, okay, आजकल जो हमारे पास, see, we are doctors of today's era, right? We are not doctors of 20 years ago or 50 years ago or 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Similarly, doctors 50 years after us, right, will face the problems of that generation. समझ रहे हो? So, is this completely Indian crowd?
Yes, sir.
So I have to speak in Hindi or
Hindi-English combination is good.
okay. So what I would suggest, what I would say, what I would like to say is कि हमको as doctors, as homeopaths, हमको क्या करना है? हमको आजकल की generation, the problems of today, that is what we have to solve, right? Because our patients are living with us in this generation, in this era. Now, what we see as homeopaths is that the problems today are far more psychosomatic, है ना? तो आजकल problems autoimmune complaints ज़्यादा होते हैं, metabolic disorders ज़्यादा होते हैं, lifestyle diseases are more, ठीक है ना? So PCOD is a lifestyle disease, right? Diabetes is a metabolic disorder, but it is far more related to our lifestyle. Autoimmune complaints are also increasing today, right? Autoimmune thyroiditis, autoimmune rheumatism, ये सारे complaints, yeah, autoimmune neurological complaints, various allergies, right? Asthmas, allergies, autoimmune complaints भी क्यों बढ़ रहे हैं? Because everything in today's world, infections are not as strong as our emotional state, as our stresses, as our lifestyle complaints. तो हमारे problems जो patients के हैं, a lot of PCOS, diabetes, thyroid complaints, other hormonal complaints, infertility, skin problems, psoriasis, right? Asthmas to a large level are all related to the stresses we go through today rather than infections. You understand? So what are the stresses today? And that is why melopsit or other mammal and bird remedies are more relevant in today's world. क्यों? हमारे general stresses क्या होते हैं? आप patients के बारे में भी सोचो और अपने बारे में भी सोचो, right? Because we are also human beings. Our stresses are always related to a group. है ना? Our stresses are related to our freedom. Yeah, see, 200 years, 500 years ago, things were very different. In today's world, there is a lot of money, there is a lot of media, there is a lot of facilities, and we all have the freedom. Internet has brought a lot of freedom. तो हम सबके पास बहुत freedom है to see what we want, to know what we want. But उसके साथ साथ हम इसमें restricted भी हो जाते. We want what everyone else wants. You're getting me? So a lot of our stresses are related to two major things. One is freedom, because now we are more educated, we are more broad-minded, we are more aware, we have more options. तो freedom एक side पे हमारी बढ़ गई है और उसकी वजह से हमारा desire for freedom भी बढ़ा हुआ है. Right? Women today want freedom. Young children today want more freedom. Yeah, we often say, no, कि new generation में everybody wants freedom and everybody wants to do what they want to do. और उसके साथ साथ हमारा कंपटीशन विद द ग्रुप भी बढ़ा हुआ है, राइट? उसके पास है, मेरे पास नहीं है. Everybody is now got a car, everybody is now got a Mac, everybody is now got an AC, blah 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 blah. Now this is in the material terms. If I look at relationships, then even relationships today are very similar. We like the group, we want the group, we want social connection, but we also today want a lot more freedom for ourselves within this group. Are you with me? And in different mammal remedies and bird remedies, I would say the proportion of group and freedom varies. वो अलग चीज है, अलग अलग रेमेडीज में अलग अलग है. लेकिन what is most important is that in all mammal and bird remedies, ये एक basic crux है. क्योंकि what are mammal and birds? They also live in groups, but within the group, they fight for their freedom. You understand? So that is what happened to Sachindra and me in the last, especially in the last 2008, say, I would say 2006-7, say, we started to see this conflict more and more in all our patients, whether they were from Bombay, whether they were from Delhi, whether they were from Nagpur, whether they were from Kolhapur, whether they were from Chennai, Chhattisgarh, Kashmir, Odisha, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and also patients who were from other European countries, UK, US, Japan, Australia, Russia, Germany, everywhere. So that is what is the mentality of the era. And if this is the mentality of the era, we must have remedies which absolutely help this mentality or have this same mentality, and therefore they can help homeopathically. आप समझ रहे? तो इसलिए हमको धीरे धीरे ये समझ में आया कि ये मैमल और बर्ड रेमेडीज इतनी जरूरी क्यों है. Why are we encountering these remedies so much in our practice? One. Second, why are they giving so much results in the practice? Not just कि हमको ये remedies दिख रही है, but इनके results इतने अच्छे आ रहे. You understand? And always remember, the more you understand anything, the more you will prescribe. तो जब पहले हम बहुत कम mammal और birds prescribe करते थे, the very few that are there in our materia medica, lachesis, I'm sorry, lachesis is a snake, but I'm talking of animal remedies in general as well. Then mainly lac caninum, lac felinum, yeah, lac equinum, right? फिर बहुत some insect remedies like coccus cacti, right? And then slowly as we lac defloritum, right? And then slowly as we understood the mammals and birds more, initially there were very few bird remedies, falcon, right? Some bald eagle remedies that were recently proved. In fact, old bird remedies, there is only tuberculum, aviare. Okay. So initially there were few remedies. Lekin the more we understood our patients, the more we understood this conflict of group versus freedom within the same group. Aap samajh rahe? The more we understood mammal and bird remedies and their relevance in today's world. अब एक general मैं आपको बता दूं कि parrot group का क्या theme है. Like Sachindra already explained through this case. But now if you have to spot a parrot remedy in your practice. So when you look at parrots in nature, what do you see? You see colors. You see they bring a kind of brightness. They are very beautiful. They bring a lot of brightness. They're very chirpy, very loud, very over noisy sometimes. So आपको क्या पैरेट रेमेडीज में मिलेगा कि ये जो पेशेंट्स हैं पैरेट रेमेडीज के, दे आर वेरी वेरी ब्राइट, they want to meet people, they want to communicate, they want to be social, they want to talk, उनको बातें करने अच्छा लगता है। ग्रुप में आए तो वो चिपर 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 करते रहते हैं, लोगों को इकट्ठा करते हैं। So socially parrot remedies, or you will see that your patient who comes to you is very social, chatty, whether it is a male or a female, ठीक है? And also that this patient likes to draw attention. What does the parrot do? The parrot draws your attention, है ना? तो parrot remedies को बातें करके कुछ हंसी मजाक करके, कुछ performance. Parrot remedies also like to perform, so they will imitate, ठीक है ना? If they are in a party, they will like to sing, they will like to show that they have something. तो ऐसा करके they like to attract attention. So they are social, they like to attract attention, and they are very, very partner oriented, as Sachindra said. So they like to have a deep bond with their partner, with their husband or with their wife, or a boyfriend or something. And agar it is not a opposite sex, then it may be just a friend, okay? But a very close bond with somebody जिनके साथ वो अपना सब कुछ share कर सके. And I'm sure as I'm telling you this, आपको कुछ अपने अपने patients याद आते रहेंगे who have this kind of a mentality. And as opposed to this, parrot remedies में what you will see is that they are they also feel that in this group, they love the group, they are dependent on the group, they like their family, their husband, their wife, their parents, their cousins, but in this group they want to create their space, they want to create their own little mark, कि लोग उनको देखे कि हाँ ये ग्रुप में ये पर्सन इंपॉर्टेंट है, या ये पर्सन थोड़ा अलग है, या ये पर्सन थोड़ा क्रिएटिव है. सो विद इन द ग्रुप दे लाइक टू शो देयर क्वालिटीज, दे लाइक टू बी सीन,
Stand out.
they like to stand out. Another very important thing is they may also feel restricted by the same group, क्योंकि आपको जब अपना कुछ अलग करना हो, आपको जब अपना कुछ दिखाना हो, तो आपको ग्रुप को तो दिखाना है, लेकिन आपको ग्रुप में वो रिस्ट्रिक्शन भी फील होता है कि अरे मुझे मेरी रीच से नहीं करने दे, they don't allow me completely. So that restriction, and in this they love the group but feel restricted by the same group, and within that group they want to show their focus, they want to show how strong, smart, strong less, but how smart, beautiful, creative or intelligent they are. So this would be the major crux of the parrot group of remedies, जिसमें Melopsit is a little milder personality. But if you have somebody who's extremely strong, very overpowering, yeah, very loud, then you will not think of Melopsit, but you will think of the remedy Aramaka, जो हमने पिक्चर दिखाया था थोड़ी देर पहले, the bigger parrots. I think when Sachindra will come and explain the Melopsit proving symptoms, he'll share again the picture of Aramaka with you, or maybe we can. I remember one while Sachindra is showing this picture, I remember a case of Aramaka with diabetes and very severe pigmentation on her face. This is a woman we saw in one of our live case seminars. Yeah, we do a lot of live case seminars in different parts of the country, and this one was, I think, somewhere in Rajasthan. And this woman, she was with very high levels of sugar, very high levels of sugar, very depressed, and this was her complaints: depression, high levels of sugar, and mainly severe butterfly pigmentation around the cheeks, very typical perimenopausal pigmentation. And I tell you, जब वो अंदर आई clinic में, जब वो entry की in this live case seminar, she was like on stage. उसको बहुत मजा आ रहा था. She was really enjoying being the live case. It was almost like, she was performing for all of us. She had, I still remember, a very, very beautiful, bright colored sari, extremely beautiful. Case mein, her theme was that she felt very restricted by her husband. Her main theme in the entire case, मैं आपको short में बता रही हूँ, कि उनको अपने husband से, because husband was a very typical Rajasthani, I would say, orthodox man, and she is a very creative lady. She loves to sing. She writes her own poetry. वो खुद गाती हैं. वो खुद lecturer हैं. ठीक है ना? तो बहुत सारे students उनके fan हैं, and therefore the husband always felt that she was very popular, and the husband always tried to restrict her. And though she loved her husband, लेकिन उनको husband से प्यार भी चाहिए था. She loved the husband, she wanted that, but she also felt कि वो उनको बहुत restrict कर रहे थे. And this is what she kept doing, कि doctor, I feel so restricted by my family, my husband. मुझे कोई खुल के सांस नहीं लेने देता, मुझे कोई खुल के उड़ने नहीं देता. And I think I made a mistake. गलती की मैंने, कि मैंने उनको बोला कि थोड़े आपके पोएट्री और सॉन्ग बताइए. तो क्या हुआ कि एक के बाद एक she never stopped. वो गाते ही रह गई. ये सॉन्ग ये मूड के लिए, वो सॉन्ग वो राग के लिए है, वो सॉन्ग मैंने बनाया, ये सॉन्ग मैंने मेरे भाई के लिए बनाया, वो सॉन्ग मैंने मेरी बहन के लिए बनाया. And we literally had to tell her, stop, the new case has stopped, So what I'm trying to say is she was over-performing. Now, this is not a case where I will give Melopsit. This is a case where I will give Aramacau, which is this remedy. Aramacaus are very, very large parrots. They are very loud, very colorful, and very bright. And the theme in Aramacau is not just that I am restricted and I want my freedom, but I have to be very loud and I have to perform. तो वो थोड़े जो ज़्यादा loud, boisterous, जो आपको आपके प्रैक्टिस में जो पेशेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो जिनके लिए शो, जिनके लिए परफॉर्मेंस और ग्लैमर बहुत मायने रखता है, हाँ, then you will think of Aramacau. Now another thing that I would like to tell you is कि these remedies sometimes you may not have. Don't worry, एक टाइम हमारे पास भी नहीं थी, but कहीं पे ये शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी if we want to help our patients. So you can always connect with our clinic, and the clinic sends these medications at a certain minimum cost, okay, which the clinic has to bear, right, for the ordering and sending and preparing. So that availability of remedies का आप चिंता ना करें, क्योंकि वो हमसे आपको मिल सकती है. But to use these remedies and to see this change, now you see all these patients, I would like to tell you one more thing, that when we improve the patients to this level, जब हम पेशेंट का रियल स्टोरी सुनते हैं, उनके रियल प्रॉब्लम्स, उनको क्या खटकता है, the vital force and the vital sensation, or that vital code I call, is what is really hurting the patient. And when you understand that and you strike that chord and you help the patient, you create a lifetime of relationship. तो हमारे ये जो patients हैं जो ठीक होते हैं, they then stay with us for a lifetime, they remember us for a lifetime, and they keep sending patients to us. So you build a practice, but you also build a relationship with your patients. And that is very, very important. And that happens with this depth of understanding of the remedy and this depth of understanding of the patient. ठीक है ना? So I told you about Ara Makao. I told you about Bajrigar. Okay, Bajrigar is this common birds that you see, Melopsit, and also there is the remedy Indian parrot. ठीक है, वो remedy भी available है, but generally Bajrigar and macaw में आपके काफी cases solve हो जाते हैं. In Indian parrot, the frustration of restriction, this is the typical Indian system, है ना? Indian system में the restriction by the family, by the group, by the people around, the hierarchy is very, very strong, especially in villages and small towns, or even in large cities जहाँ पे orthodox family है. तो जहाँ पर आपको patient में restriction ज़्यादा feel होता है, कि the patient is, for example, I remember 2-3 cases of rheumatism जो हमने Indian parrot से solve किए हैं. तो उन cases में that feeling कि they have this creativity, they are so, bright, लेकिन उनको कुछ करने नहीं मिल रहा because of this very typical orthodox Indian family. तो वो restriction की वजह से, and then that patient actually explained it is the same as the restriction जो I feel in my knees and in my ankles and in my finger joints. वहाँ पे उनका pain ज़्यादा था rheumatism में. So in that case, I had used Indian parrot. So Indian parrot is more for this feeling of restriction. ठीक है ना? It was just a little bit of idea about why we need these bird remedies today. क्यों ये ज़्यादा असर कर रही है? हाँ? And what is the theme of patients today? ठीक है? I think you
Questions?
Any questions before we go ahead with the proving symptoms? You can either unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can type, you can talk.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Dr. Milind.
I just want to add to you, or I just want to say to the proving of Melopsittacus, they have a very close relations with mammals.
Yeah.
And in our Indian society, the theme, whatever you have told, it was very nicely explained by you and Sachin. But I am in a question, how to differentiate a mammalian remedy with Melopsittacus.
Very good.
Good. And that's a very good question.
All right.
Let's take this question. Yeah. So देखिए, mammal, so the difference, now I'll explain a little bit about the animals and then come to the humans, how we will see a mammal in a human and a bird in a human. So you have to remember two things. Ki mammals are, when you look at evolution, okay, so I'm talking of evolution of the vertebrates. This all we have studied in our school and college times and in biology as well. So vertebrates में पहले fish आए, fish के बाद amphibians, after amphibians, reptiles. Amphibians means your frog. Okay, fish, you know what is fish. After frogs came reptiles. Reptiles mana our snake remedies. Okay, snake, crocodile, lizards, turtles. So lachesis, naja, elaps, bothrops, reptile remedies. उसके बाद आए birds. Okay, like melops is a bird remedy. After birds came mammals. तो mammals जो है वो evolution में mammals are higher than birds. Okay, so what is higher in mammals? I'll tell you two things. Mammal remedies में, see, birds do not have milk. So what is the difference? That what did nature do? Nature progressed from bird to mammal in two ways. Third में the male and female both take care of the babies, and the babies do not get any milk from the parents. तो बाद में नेचर ने क्या किया, नेचर मेड इट अ लिटिल इजियर. नेचर सेड ये थोड़ा गड़बड़ लग रहा है कि बर्ड्स को बहुत काम करना पड़ रहा है. सो इन मैमल्स विच आर इवॉल्व्ड आफ्टर बर्ड्स, द initial stages, the babies get milk from the mother. So the work of going out and searching food extensively that bird remedies have to do, mammals do not have to do in the initial stages, because the mother eats and the mother feeds. Okay, so in nature made it easier, okay, for the mammals. One. Second, the bird groups are not so tight and intellectually tied up. आप समझिए मेरी बात. Intelligence in the mammals is more, okay, and bird remedies में दो groups are together and there is dominant, there are, you know, strong and weak birds within the group. But mammals में hierarchy, that means एक बड़ा, उसके नीचे दो, उसके नीचे तीन, सबसे नीचे. हाँ, जो हम ह्यूमंस में भी हायरार्की देखते हैं, कास्ट सिस्टम देखते हैं, हायरार्की, एक बड़ा, उसके नीचे, उसके नीचे, उसके नीचे. ये इसको, दिस इज कॉल्ड अ कॉम्प्लेक्स डोमिनेशन. तो ये जो हायरार्की है, ये बर्ड्स में उतना नहीं है और ऑलमोस्ट नहीं है, मैमल्स में है. ठीक है. सो एंड मैमल्स एज अ ग्रुप स्टे much more closer and exchange much more with each other than birds. समझिए. So why did I explain all this? Huh? What do you see now therefore in humans, where you have to give a mammal remedy or you have to give a bird remedy? So Melops cases, and this is how I differentiate my patients in clinic. Sachendra and I, we both do it like this. Bird cases, birds, because they had to feed their babies, they had to create a nest, they had to, take care of the young ones. A lot of you understand that a mammal baby stays in the womb. So the mammal, whereas a bird is in the egg, तो वो egg बाहर है, तो protection ज़्यादा चाहिए. Whereas mammal baby womb में रह के बाहर निकलता है. So the protection needed in a mammal is lesser than that in a bird. Because of all this, basic logic is bird has to work harder than mammal. Therefore, the next point is bird metabolic rate is higher than mammal. Now, when we compare this to human beings, our bird cases, including Melopsit, are very active. They are very tubercular miasm is very typical. जैसे किसी ने सचंद्रा के केस में क्या बोला, phosphorus. Phosphorus is a tubercular remedy, and Melopsit can look very much like phosphorus. So if you see tubercular miasm or tubercular traits are stronger in Melopsit than in a mammal remedy like lac caninum or lac felinum or lac defloratum. So what I'm trying to say is, आपके bird patient of Melopsit, if you ask them, भैया तुम्हारा activity बताइए दिन का, they will say, oh, I am very active. First I cook, then I go there, then I clean my cupboard, then I go meet some people, then I clean some other shelves, then I come back, then I bake a cake. You know, if it is a bird patient who's a male, then also he will say, oh, you know what, I take care of the family, then I do this meeting, then I go there, then I come back, then I see that my office space is clean, then I see that my wife needs something. So they like to be constantly active and on the move, and they are very, very productive and almost a little tubercular in their pace of working in the day. ठीक है ना, ये एक बड़ा डिफरेंस है. मैमल रेमेडी, whether it is lac caninum, lac felinum, lac equinum, whatever, lac defloratum, आप मैमल्स को, आप बर्ड को कैसे देखते हो नेचर में, और आप मैमल को कैसे देखते हो, चलता है, घूमता है, बैठता है, सोता है. So mammal remedies will do for their family, but there is not this tubercular paste. मुझे ये भी करना, वो भी करना, वो भी करना, वो भी करना, वो भी करना. No, no, that is not mammal. So this is a major difference of how I differentiate between a melops and a mammal. Second thing is that feeling of restriction and freedom, which we were explaining, is that feeling of freedom is much more stronger in melopsit or in all birds. Now today, because we have discussed melopsit as a case, we'll stay with melopsit. तो क्या हो जाता है, that need to talk, the need to be free, and then when you ask the patient and do this, पेशेंट को थोड़ा पूछिए, आपका फ्रीडम डिस्क्राइब कीजिए, आंख बंद करके फ्रीडम क्या होता है, पिक्चर बनाइए फ्रीडम का, कैसा महसूस होगा अगर फ्रीडम होगा. तो वेरी ऑफन अ मेलॉप्स केस will tell you that freedom is like the sky, freedom is open, freedom is breaking all bonds. So freedom is very important to a bird because that's what a bird does. It has far more freedom in the sky than a mammal who on the ground is limited because of terrestrial problems. वो दो थोड़ा चलेंगे तो एक स्ट्रीम आ जाएगा बीच में, एक खड्डा आ जाएगा बीच में. Whereas a bird in the air can fly much farther. You understand? Therefore, mammal sense of freedom, जब mammal cases में restriction होता है या rheumatism होता है, and if you ask them freedom, their freedom is not, I want to break free, I want to be in the sky, I want to have this freedom. ऐसा नहीं होता है. It is, I want freedom from these people. I want to be by myself. So the theme of freedom is stronger in melopsit than in a mammal remedy too. And third thing, the feeling of caged and suffocated is also stronger in a melops than a mammal remedy. Okay, when they describe their restriction. So these three are major three differences between the melops and let's say a lacan or something. One more thing I will like to say, and that is कि mammal remedies में ना, so mammal remedies में the theme of hierarchy is very strong. What does that mean? वो see bird में भी वो रहेगा कि they are stronger than me and they are restricting me. Fine, but in mammal it is a little bit more कि you know what, we are in a group, there is a leader, then I am second in the generation, you cannot back answer. If you back answer, what will your chacha ji, mama ji, kaka ji feel? So the hierarchy of the group, and we have to stay together for a lifetime, तो मुझे इन्हीं का सुनना है. So that hierarchy theme is stronger in a mammal, whereas the bird theme is मुझे बोलना है, I want to express myself, you're not letting me, you're not giving me the freedom, please give me the freedom, I want to break these bonds. So the bird focuses more, or a melopsit case, focuses more on the freedom of expression, freedom of creativity, freedom from all the bonds, whereas the mammal focuses more on hierarchy, how to live within the hierarchy of the system. Yeah, so that is a fourth point of difference between the two. Okay. So, and any more questions? Maybe questions related to the case. You can either unmute yourself, or if you don't want to unmute, you can also write in the chat box. और कोई भी भाषा में लिखिए, हिंदी, मराठी, कोई भी भाषा में लिखिए, and हम आंसर करेंगे. I think there are no questions, so maybe you.
So, जब हम holistic,
you come here.
Hello.
There is a question.
All participants, please ask questions.
So, जब हम लोग होलिस्टिक क्योर की बात करते हैं या जब होलिस्टिक रेमेडीज की बात करते हैं, रिमेंबर our prescriptions not only have to cover the generals, the particulars, the mind, and maybe pathophysiology as well. But what the remedies have to cover is the entire connecting dot that can explain the state of mind, that can explain the general state of the patient that he is in, or the dreams that the patient is going through. A holistic prescription has to cover all of this. And this is exactly what we are doing with these newer remedies. And with these newer remedies that we have introduced and being practiced, the pathophysiological data is collecting more and more. Yeah, the kind of pathologies that they have been helping is increasing by the day. But just like how Bhavisha said, a lot of autoimmune complaints have been helped with the mammal and bird remedies that we have introduced and we have been using in our clinical practice. And the amount of cases with autoimmune complaints that we see, autoimmunes, allergies, asthma, children complaints, depression, anxiety, and the whole endocrine system being fired up with PCOS and hyperprolactin levels and pituitary adenomas, many have been helped with these combinations. Yeah. So keep your approach open, and that will help you prescribe more remedies. Now, there is a nice question to differentiate between lac caninum and lac humanum. Yeah. When you look at the way, just like how Bhavisha spoke about evolution of the animal kingdom, and then she explained the evolution of birds, evolution of mammals. So when you look at the evolution of mammals per se, within the mammals, we as humans are amongst the highest evolved. Yeah. The lesser evolved mammals are platypus. I don't know, आपको याद होगा, बचपन में स्कूल में तो पढ़ाया जाता था. Yeah. Echidna kingdom है, platypus छोटे mammals है, which lay eggs but give milk. ये सबसे लेस इवॉल्व है. उसके बाद में सेमी इवॉल्व आर कैंगरूज, द मार्सुपियल ग्रुप. यहाँ पे बच्चा is born, but again it needs the pouch to grow further. Then comes the more evolved. Then the goats, the cows, the horses, the camels, the elephants. And that way, the evolution goes higher and higher. As the evolution goes higher, the intelligence goes larger and larger. Now, the closest remedy that is similar to humans is chimpanzee, or the closest animal group. And it is very natural. We always say we evolved from the apes. But many of our behavioral features are seen reflecting in apes, in chimpanzees, in gorillas, in orangutans. Yeah. The most important thing in animals, especially in general in mammals, in animals, is lack of complex thinking or reflecting about yourself. How often do you think a dog is thinking about his actions? नहीं, वो react करता है. Most animals react. Maybe थोड़ा learn करते हैं, adapt करते हैं, react करते हैं वो response को. पर analyze करना, evaluate करना, सोचना, and then अपनी strategy change करना, ये बहुत कम होता है. And it gets complex and better as the animal goes from a lesser evolved छोटा mammal से लेके बड़ा mammal in terms of brain and comes right up to chimpanzees and finally humans. So, as you get closer to chimpanzees and humans, the process of inner reflection, looking inwards, gets stronger. The process of manipulation, complex behavior, complex deceit gets more clearer and sharper. This is how you can see the lac caninum or any other lac for that matter differentiate from lac humanum. One of the biggest theme of lac humanum is to get over or overcome the animal instincts within itself. Because finally we are animal. So अपना quest क्या होता है when we go to spiritualism or when we go to any path that we follow? The main theme is taught about is to overcome your instincts, to overcome your deeper animal aspirations, and to rise above to a spiritual level. Animals में spirituality नहीं आती. This is where the main thing differentiates between humans and any other mammal for that matter. Remedies. What potencies are available? Will you send literature of the remedy about Melopsit? I think we have got all the potencies, 200, 1M, 30, I'm not sure होगा. इसका जो proving है, I will be sending all of you a PDF of the proving of Melops, which you can refer to. And it is safe for infants as well. When the remedy is well suited, it works very well. Yeah, I mean, our practice consists a lot of young children, yeah, maybe a couple of months old. वहां से लेके कई बार लोग pediatrician का मिलने के बाद the next visit is to us for a child and often we say कि भाई कोई दवाई की जरूरत नहीं रही है. Yeah, तो उस चीज में you have to be less worried. What we need to remember is that our phosphorus can as well cause the same amount of aggravation. Can cause the same amount of aggravation as compared to any other remedy. But definitely animal remedies are deeper and they bring about a deeper state. And they bring about a deeper change in patients. Often we have had cases जहाँ पे patients have mentioned this to us कि डॉक्टर साहब आपने ये दवाई पहले क्यों नहीं दी. Patient is not aware कि अभी मैंने चेंज करके उनको शायद एनिमल दवाई दी है या मैमल दवाई दी है या बर्ड दवाई दी है या मे बी मेलोप्सिट दिया कोई भी और दवाई दी है. They don't know that, but they say कि ये दवाई के बाद जो चेंज महसूस हुआ है वो पहले वाली दवाइयों से इतना महसूस नहीं हुआ था. That itself tells you the depth of the curative action that these remedies have. Yeah. Chironics fleckery, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा है Chironics fleckery क्या है. It's not coming to my mind. What is it? I can definitely throw a lot of light. मेरे पास केस तो होगी. इसका स्पेलिंग गड़बड़ है. Yeah. If you want to know more about our work, हमारे बहुत books है. You can refer to those books. And some of you, if you have softwares, क्या है वो? Radar Opus है या Mac Repertory है. Some of our books are available on those software as well. And one of the books, this is the books where we have talked about our birds के बारे में. This is a big 700-page book which we published last year, which has been kind of widely received. But this is a relatively newer book. आपके लिए to understand how the mammal work developed. This is the seminar that Dr. Milind had attended along with other friends and many 300-400 colleagues, where Jan Scholten had come. We had invited Jan and the three of us spoke for 3 days. And we finally converted the entire seminar into a book form where the proving of Melopsis is there. And during this seminar, we gifted remedies like Lac Loxodenta, Melopsit, as well as Lac equinum to everybody to use in clinical practice. So this is one of the books which tells you ये एनिमल मैप का डेवलपमेंट कैसे हुआ है, प्लांट का डेवलपमेंट कैसा है, एंड हाउ डू वी यूज दैट इन क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस. दिस इज वन ऑफ द सिंपलर बुक्स टू बिगिन विद एंड स्टडी. मैमल्स के लिए दिस इज अ ओल्ड बुक. ये मेरा बहुत ओल्ड कॉपी है जो धूप में थोड़ी फेड हो गई है एनीवे, बट दिस इज अ बुक ऑन मैमल्स. अगेन अ नाइस बुक. नाउ दिस बुक इज ट्रांसलेटेड इन 2 languages already. But those of you who are keen to learn the basics of our work, this is a book to go. हमारा पहला book, Homeopathy and Pattern in the Periodic Table. This book is translated in 6 languages across the world and has been one of the best sellers in homeopathy since 2008. यहाँ पे जिस तरह से भविष्य ने fundamentals सिखाए हैं about the evolution of the periodic system, you guys will get complete clarity in terms of understanding, prescribing, and knowing why did you prescribe. खाली ये नहीं कि ये सिम्टम है यहाँ पे इसके लिए मैंने दिया, नहीं. इसका ये बिहेवियर क्यों है नेचर में, ये एलिमेंट ऐसा क्यों बिहेव करता है, नेचुरली ये एलिमेंट नेचर में ऐसा बिहेव करता है, इसके लिए प्रूविंग्स में ऐसे सिम्टम आए हैं, ये ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज में रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. फाइनली रिमेंबर व्हाट आर प्रूविंग्स. Provings are nothing but the human reflection of those elements in nature. So either you study an element in nature by understanding the proving that we do in homeopathy, or study the animal or element in nature in its complete entirety, with its applications, with its indications, and the way it is used and the way it interacts. That becomes the materia medica. Yeah. And Bhavisha has so beautifully explained those fundamental concepts here. You'll understand why does Natremure behave the way Natremure behaves. Natremure का या ने अरे ये तो बहुत बढ़िया रेमेडीज है, सिग्नस उधर जाएंगे बाद में. नेट्रम्यूर का कीनोट सिम्टम क्या है? सबसे पहला जो कॉलेज में हमेशा सिखाते थे, कोई तो बोलो भाई. कीनोट सिम्टम जो हम लोग सब जानते हैं,
इंट्रोवर्ट सर.
इंट्रोवर्ट. वेरी गुड. और क्या है? नेट्रम्यूर विमेन के बारे में क्या बताते हैं? यंग गर्ल्स falls in love with the wrong guy. आता नहीं है? Disappointment in love, falls in love with the wrong guy. कभी सोचा है नेट्रीम्यूर में falls in love with the wrong guy क्यों होता है? नेट्रीम्यूर क्या है? सोडियम क्लोराइड. सोडियम हाईली अनस्टेबल है, क्लोराइड हाईली अनस्टेबल है, एब्सोल्युटली अनस्टेबल है. जब दोनों इकट्ठा होते हैं, दे मेक सॉल्ट, सोडियम क्लोराइड, बिकॉज बोथ आर एक्सट्रीमली ऑन द ऑपोजिट साइड्स. एक हैलोजन है, एक अल्कलाइन मेटल है, साथ में आके दे मेक अ बॉन्ड टू मेक इटसेल्फ कंफर्टेबल. नेट्रम, बिकॉज ऑफ द वेरी नेचर ऑफ बीइंग अनस्टेबल, बिकॉज उसमें एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन है, वो जो पहला एलिमेंट मिला उसको जाके बॉन्ड कर लेता है. हेंस अ नेट्रम पर्सनैलिटी कैन नॉट स्टे अलोन, उसको कंपनी चाहिए, एंड दैट पर्सन विल क्लिंग to a first person that they interact with, whoever that they fall in love. So they are very easy to fall in love. But chlorine is an halogen. Chlorine reacts. Chlorine is to the extreme end of the same row, जिसमें एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन कम है और इसके पास खाली एक ही है देने के लिए, पर दोनों को कंपलसरी जुड़ना पड़ा. And chlorine is something which exactly reacts and exactly opposite behaves to most of the elements in nature. So imagine, here is one which is extremely kingy, and here is one who is highly opinionated and extremely different. Naturally, when you fall in love, because the nature part is taken care of, eventually आपका क्लोरम जागता है, उसको लगता है कि अरे ये तो साला गड़बड़ है, जैसे मैंने सोचा था वैसा तो ये नहीं है. And that's why the delusion that she falls in love with the wrong guy, because she's never able to find the right guy. And she never will be, because उसका state ही ऐसा है, because she's so unstable, उसको constantly कोई चाहिए and she'll cling on to. You see how that one sentence helps me explain to you the entire chemistry of that element and the behavior in nature. And naturally I can see why homeopathy has got that beautiful symptom, and it has helped so many people in disappointment. This is the beauty when you understand the remedy in toto, in complete complex, and you get wonderful results. And that as well gives you stamina to wait for the remedy to work. Nahi to often we tend to give a wonderful prescription, but often when the follow-up is not very encouraging, we start feeling a little unsure about a prescription naturally, and then we tend to change. But aapka agar logic clear hai, you will give it time, and then you see the results coming to your way. Cygnus Bevicki, these are all swan remedies. These are beautiful remedies. Cygnus again is a wonderful remedy जिसको partner बहुत चाहिए. They are people who are very creative. These are seabirds, Cygnus. And in all these remedies, partner is very, very important, and they generally partner for life. Just like the Bajrigar, Cygnus partners for life. But like a Bajrigar, which is very yappy and chatty, these are more graceful, more quiet, more royal, more subtle. Disappointment can be a very big theme in Cygnus as well. Yeah. falls in love. Yes. So you guys can connect with us on our website, on anywhere. Yeah, books आपको चाहिए, आप Facebook पे ढूंढ लीजिए. Write a mail to the clinic. We have priced the books differently, or rather lesser expensive for our Indian students and Indian participants. So you can make good use of that. Many homeopathic colleges across Maharashtra, we have gifted one set of all our books. बर्ड बुक अभी तक नहीं भेजा बिकॉज ये कोविड के बाद से टाइम नहीं मिला, पर अंटिला मैमल बुक, सब बुक्स का एक पूरा सेट हमारे बुक्स का हर कॉलेज के लाइब्रेरी में है. सो प्लीज फाइंड आउट in your college library. If you are associated with a college, you can get our books from there to refer. And of course, if you want to read, you can read them. Homeopathic softwares may be available here. Some of you, if you are keen, of course, this is again, if you are keen, if you're wanting to explore, is from the 21st of January. Bhavisha and I are doing 1.5 hour के 4 वेबिनार जो हम लोग 2 साल से कर रहे हैं. कोविड टाइम में fortunately we got the opportunity to help many people with COVID. The first case of COVID came to us in January 2020. जब इंडिया में किसी के ने केस नहीं देखा था. We had a fellow doctor colleague working in New York के जनरल हॉस्पिटल में as an emergency specialist. He gave us certain symptoms. He said कि ये मेरे symptoms है, मेरे patients के और मेरे, इसके लिए क्या दवाई दे सकते हो. And he was a very strong, good clinician, and that is where we recommend the remedy कि उसको respiratory distress है, उसको antimony ars दे दो, and जिसको mild है उसको arsenic alb दे दो. And it is in January 2020 when we described and we prescribe arsenic alb and antimony ars in various cases for COVID. And उसके बाद से we have been fortunate to get the opportunity to help many. And we did many free webinars on COVID to empower homeopaths all across the country and the world. Because बहुत अच्छे cases आते थे. We got the opportunity to treat nearly maybe, I don't know, 10 to 12,000 cases directly under us. और हमने जो दवाइयाँ देखी लोगों ने prescribe किए कि पता नहीं कितने हैं वो. We took the opportunity to give free medicines. हमने opportunity ली कि भाई कोई दवाई होम्योपैथी दे दो, and we gave the entire Bombay police force के लगभग 1 लाख पुलिस वालों को हमने फ्री में होम्योपैथिक दवाइयाँ दी, with a doctor associated with every group जो उनको follow up करता था. खाली दवाइयाँ ही नहीं दी, we wanted follow ups, and we got wonderful results from them in mail form कि नहीं हमारे symptoms better है, हमारे pathologies better है, COVID जिन जिन को हुआ था वो recovery was very rapid. So we got so much of data from all of that. So this is where we use homeopathy to help. You can attend. We have got a lot of lectures online. हमारे YouTube channel पे आप जाएंगे तो आपको videos मिलेंगे. You can watch them, see them. So coming back to these webinars, so हमने 1.5 घंटे के webinars कर रहे हैं over every Saturday for 4 Saturdays from the 21st of January, where we are expecting at least 200-300 colleagues from different parts of the world, where we'll talk about our map system of prescribing, why periodic table के remedies इस तरह से behave करते हैं, how to understand them well in your clinical practice successfully. Yeah. And you can know more. So आप उसको join कर सकते हो. We have kept it very low price. कितने 1000 रुपए कुछ रखे हैं. Objective पैसा नहीं है. Objective है कि लोगों को commit करना है. So that you guys can learn. I'll just place क्या क्या है. This is our website. फेसबुक किधर है? ये सब हमारे ना डॉक्टर्स बेचारे करते रहते हैं. वी आर ऑलवेज एट लॉस निकालने के लिए कि किधर है हमारे लिंक्स. ये सब लिंक्स है. मिल गया. मैंने एक ना आई सेव देम ऑन अ नोटपैड बिकॉज़ आई डोंट नो हाउ द नेम्स. सो यू कैन विजिट व्यू. वी हैव गॉट लॉट ऑफ फ्री लेक्चर्स. अब लगभग 30-40 आवर्स ऑफ आवर सेशंस है फॉर फ्री फॉर यू गाइस टू नो, पीपल टू नो. Objective is to spread education and spread awareness. Yeah. And then you can make a very क्या कहते हैं, aware decision when you are making a successful prescription to your patient. And remember, our results have to last well and they have to outlive us. Any questions? इसका chat में मैं डाल देता हूँ मेलॉप्स का proving. I will send the Melops का entire proving का PDF to Dr. Milind, जो सबको शेयर करेंगे तो आपके पास वो आ जाएगा. That is not a concern. You're on mute.
Hello.
Yeah.
I have a question. how you prescribe the potency on the kingdom base or on the pace of the symptoms?
Yeah. Potency decision.
Potency decision.
Yes.
Whether you prescribe on the kingdom of the remedy or the pace of the symptoms.
Pace of the symptoms.
It is always the pace of the symptoms. That is applicable to all kingdoms. Yeah. Whichever the kingdom we use in prescription, it is the pace, the intensity, the depth that warrants the prescription. The more deeper the remedy, the more intense the remedy state, higher the potency. And more lighter the symptoms, more physical symptoms, and less PQRS, of course, lower the potency. Remember, a deeper state will always respond well to a higher potency because usme wo symptoms itna throw kar raha hai. And that is what will help the client. If you have done some work on your remedies and if you want to share some of your work, you can always share it, email us. Joshi's seminar. Or you can write to us on our Facebook page and then the clinic responds whenever, yeah, there is something worth responding. More? So we have people here from only Maharashtra or different parts of the state and country? The Maharashtra state here. Different parts of the country?
Two peoples are from out of India.
Very nice, very nice. It's nice to know the thought process of friends, colleagues, students from different parts of the country and how do they view homeopathy, how they work with homeopathy, because those insights really get us to understand the practitioner's mindset. Because often we are speaking from a forum, from a platform, and people are following and listening. Often it is good to know कि लोगों के दिमाग में कैसे बातें चलती है. Any more questions? No more? We have got 5 minutes more before we close down. So है आपके पास सवाल पूछने के लिए, please पूछिए. The results, if you have seen Milin's case, was very peculiar. I enjoyed it. Of course, uski case, jab usne mujhe bheji, I gave slight insight because the case wasn't taken by me. And whatever that I could pick up and features that I could see about a remedy that I indicated and shared with him, ki bhai ye possible reasons hai why Melopsit works very well. And it was interesting to see the follow-up. But ऐसे follow-ups बहुत आते हैं, बहुत लोगों के हैं, and different parts of the world similar follow-ups आते हैं. Cancer cases में we often use combinations. We use the constitutional remedy, the way we give a holistic remedy. Potency varies depending upon how intense the cancer state is. And along with that, we use multiple organ-specific remedy, symptom-specific remedy. What we have seen in most advanced pathological cases, the symptom-specific remedy and the organ-specific remedies work well when they are given along with a constitutional remedy. I remember having a prostate cancer stage 4 patient in Italy, and he was stage 4 diagnosed last September. And the daughter, who is a homeopath, and the father was suffering, he did not want to take any therapy. So stage 4 cancer, prostate cancer, progressing rapidly, and the patient said, I am not wanting to take any remedy. And his daughter, who lived in Germany, she stayed with him. He said, I will give him homeopathic remedies and you guide me, because she could not think, because it was her father, so father the. So it was difficult for her to disconnect the homeopath in her or the physician in her and prescribe to him as a client. So here, We gave beautiful combination of, because his prostate cancer had affected various parts of his body. It had metastasized severely and it was giving him all possible complex symptoms in the urinary bladder, liver में जा रहा था, वहां पे उसके metastasis थे. General symptoms were bad. Here we gave the constitutional remedy. Along with the constitutional remedy, I gave him a specific remedy that helped him for the prostate, and gave him specific organ remedies because he had a lot of urinary trouble, and we were able to pull out a reasonable year and 3 months, मतलब 1.25 साल हमने निकाले without taking even a single pain killer, only on homeopathy. This man survived and eventually passed, but he could live for so long. I'm sure with all the chemicals that he would have received, he would have died much more earlier because he was so frail that he could not take anything. आप LM potencies भी use कर सकते हो. Whenever remedy has to be prescribed more frequently, we use LM potencies. If your prescription is strongly based on mental symptoms, your mental state, centesimal scale works the best. When you're using organ-specific remedies, LM scale works wonderfully well. You can have a different experience. Please go by that. But when you need to repeat the remedy often, use LM scales and they do give good results.
I would just like to add one thing, that it's not that we have in many cases of pancreatic carcinomas, adenocarcinomas, in prostate cancer, as Sachinda said, in some bone sarcomas, melanomas, and also lymphoma. I don't remember one case. Or for it was lymphoma. Yeah, it was a lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin's. So in many cases, and cases that have either come at a very late stage, or they have come while taking chemo and radiation as well, different stages. I would say we have not seen a constitutional. So this logic that if you give a constitutional, then it's going to either kill the patient or not, I don't think it works. From my practice, what we have seen is that the constitutional remedy, and especially because we are selecting it with such an intense, connection to the patient's story and personality, what the remedy, you must remember one thing, our remedies do not, especially when they are selected like that, they do not have the capacity to kill or cure. Remember, the patient's vital force makes that decision when the right remedy is chosen to take the path. Okay. Second thing, I have not seen this kind of killer's aggravation with our constitutional remedy ever, but I have definitely seen that this combination of constitutional and in some cases the local remedy that is needed, right? It could be Cardus Marianus, it could be Ceonatus, it could be Ruta, Apocyinum, whatever. It actually, the combination helps to alleviate the patient, helps to prolong the functionality and life expectancy. So I don't see this in our practice that a constitutional actually kills the patient, or kills is a very wrong word, can cause a aggravation of that fatal kind.
Imagine when patients with CAs come to us, they are taking such strong chemicals which can anyway kill that person. And those are far more stronger killer than a remedy which is diluted 1 million potency, 1M potency, 1 million times. Yeah. So let's not look at that aspect. Look at the purity of action.
Well, and be confident with what you want to prescribe. Take a good case, see the local symptoms, decide if the patient has that much energy left for a constitutional. Otherwise, you can go with the local remedies. Or
if you are constitution, if you are not very sure and if you're worried, give a moderately low potency. Give a lower potency like 230. And if the patient had to go, well, it will be the probable straw that broke the camel's back.
The patient leaves. The patient doesn't leave because of the remedy.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Good. So all the best. Stay in touch with us in any form, online, offline, virtual, non-virtual. And we will share the link of the recording to Dr. Milind. And you can watch it anytime. Share it as well. Yeah, we are happy that more and more people watch it. Milind, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
I just want to say a few words.
Go on.
I am very much thankful to both of you that you have spared time, and the main theme and the main aspect of this webinar was to link the people homeopathically. And whatever knowledge you have given us is experienced knowledge. And whatever you have talked about, I am sure that you will give your experience, your learnings, your teachings to us. We have 2-3 groups which are exclusively practicing homeopathy.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will be in touch with you. I will give all the numbers who are actually needed the work, what we are doing for the human beings.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful to both of you. You have given a lot of time to me and to my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with all of you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Milind, for organizing this.
Yes, and I think he organizes at the spur of the moment. And I really appreciate his enthusiasm. And of course, we've been friends for now over 30 years. We are very close. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. And we look forward to meeting you all sometime soon.
Those who are interested, we will give the medicine in potencies. Whatever you feel, what remedies you have to give. I have some set of remedies that will be also given free of cost. And the experience with them.
Yes.
How nice.
How nice. All the best. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, Dr. Milind.